Okay, there's still like 19 people joining. It's taking a bit longer. It should be fine.
Here's my lifesaver. I have this app on my phone. This will keep me on.
Yeah. And we're on the same time, or you set it for Central South African time?
We are in the same time zone now.
Oh,
Yeah,
now, okay, okay.
only in summer. Yeah, in winter when you and I talk, we are 1 hour,
Way,
different.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you don't want to know how many times I checked that.
So we'll be starting in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Fumza, just to know, just so you know, we're live. So the sooner we
Oh,
start, the better. Yeah.
okay. I think
Yeah,
we
Pumsa,
can
I
start
think we
there.
have nobody in the
Sure, it's
room.
fine.
Okay,
Okay. Good
good.
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the call. I am Pumza Lutango, the GCE's Knowledge Exchange and Learning Lead. Welcome to the launch of the Gender Transformative Education course. Today, we are very excited to share with you what we've been working on to really support the work that you do, as well as complement it. And we brought a very fantastic consultant to be able to support us in developing this course. So, the Global Campaign for Education has developed a new course that is titled Learning for Advocacy and Influence on Gender Transformative Education. The course is designed to strengthen civil society's capacity to advance gender equality and social inclusion in and through education. It targets civil society actors, the one that we're working with, national education coalitions, youth groups, and education advocates, with strong focus on grassroots community advocacy for gender transformative education. The
I
course
cannot hear.
emphasizes on practical implementation, enabling participants to analyze education systems, identify barriers to inclusion, and design actionable advocacy strategies once they've drawn from those tools. It's an amazing course
C'est un
that
cours
addresses
merveilleux
complexities
qui
of
répond
working in
Ao máximo
diverse and
possível
challenging
da
contexts,
implementar
including humanitarian settings
ada
such as
bima
fragile
في
and
ذلك
conflicted contexts. By focusing on advocacy approaches and
بالتركيز
effective
على
policy engagement, this course aims to strengthen collective ability for action and to support systematic change to GTE. So, as mentioned, the course was developed by Karen, who will guide us today through the course content. She has really amazing exercises that we'll be able to see what the course is offering. The course is available on the GCE Learning Hub, which after Karen's presentation, I'll be taking you through it, as well as the course is available in Arabic, Portuguese, Spanish, French, as well as Russian. So, to help us further contextualize gender transformative education and understanding how this is relevant to us as GCE members and the context that we're engaging in, we have Susmita Chowdhury, the GCE's gender lead, who will be setting the scene in understanding the GTE course. Over to you, Susmita.
Thank you, Pumza, and thank you everybody for joining this launch. Let me just put it in full mode. Yeah. Pumza, can you please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay.
We just can't see your
Okay.
video.
Oui, c'est visible.
Everyone, can you please
Alright.
mute your videos and mics? And if you need interpretation, it's available on the global icon that you can click. Thank you. You can proceed, Susmita.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pumza. So before we actually get into the details of the course, we thought like we will just discuss and understand why now gender transformative education is so important. And we, all of us have some understanding of it, but to come together on the same page. So just before starting, what does it mean to say that education is a right when millions of girls are still fighting to enter the classroom? It's similar like when a girl is being told that her education matters less than her gender. So these are some of the realities where we are living in our own countries, in our own communities. And despite the global commitments and the progress on education that has happened over so many years, yet there are, as of now, we see the UNESCO data shows that 273 million children and youth globally are still out of the school. And in that, 133 millions are excluded because not only for their gender, but other intersectional issues like poverty, disability, location, or displacement. Similar is the situation for children with disabilities who are constantly facing exclusion from education. Their learning environments does not have any support system. And this again has an impact on their foundational literacy and numeracy skills. And these inequalities are not accidental. They have rooted systemic discrimination and exclusion. Now, this situation, it becomes even more urgent when it is a conflict setting, when it is a fragile setting, where like 1 in 5 children who are living in a conflict situation and they have no access to the school because either the schools are destroyed, the teachers are displaced, or the girls are facing high violence, child marriage, and also other forms of exclusion. And it is always the girls, if we see, who are first pushed out from the school in such conflict situations, and the last who are pulled back. So, in this background, we felt like we also need to look into the problem from a systemic issue. One is, of course, there are harmful gender norms. Like in different contexts, there are deeply rooted social attitudes which constantly prioritize the boys' education over girls, or there are stereotypical gender roles, and which limits children and young people from accessing education. There is also weak implementation. There are countries all over the world globally where there are excellent good policies, but unfortunately the implementation of those policies which promotes gender equality and inclusion remains inconsistent due to capacity, sometimes weak accountability mechanisms, and also insufficient coordination across sectors. The third, and which is, I think, at this moment and every time, is the most critical one, is the underfunding. We have seen that education systems remain critically underfunded. Now, if we look into UNESCO's GEM report of 2023, it has says that there is nearly 100 billion financial gap, and where aid to education is declining in coming years. So this is 2026, so it's more than 100 billion for sure. Then there is also lack of inclusive planning, like how the children with disabilities, the girls who are experiencing the violence, and also how to include the voices organizations into the programs and policies also remains much overlooked. inclusive planning or any other aspect that we see, that is the gender transformative education approaches, which is something that is urgently needed to strengthen the capacity of our members to move beyond awareness and equip ourselves towards action. Now, why it is so much important for us as GC members? Because we know that GC members are constantly working to influence education policies and reforms, hold governments accountable, ensure equity in education financing, and also representing the marginalized voices in the decision-making processes. Yet, many organizations, many of our members are still trying their best to influence the complex education, but they are still wanting to have those adequate tools, the technical knowledge, and the structured learning opportunities, which are very critical when we are advocating with different policymakers, with different types of governments and different stakeholders. So these gender transformative education, this course is not only just a course, but it is a tool which can equip ourselves to know more and to build our skills on how we will be advocating for gender transformative education, how we will apply gender equality and social inclusion, and also engage in policy processes that is so much fragmented, which has so much difference between what are there in the policies and also in the practice. So through this gender transformative education course, it is developed not only to simply provide information, but as I say, to strengthen our action, to shift our commitment to implementation, to strengthen the evidence that we are gathering from the ground through our work into reality, into policy analysis, also effectively in budget planning, in reform processes, because we engage with different policy platforms, different networks and processes like LEG and others, and also build a collective action for systemic change in education. So as I hand over to Pumza and then Karin, the Gender Transformative Education course is not changing the education, but also to change whose voice matters, whose rights are protected, and whose futures are to be valued. So thank you very much and good luck. And I hope you will find the course very interesting and very engaging. Thank you very much, Pumza. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Susmita, for sharing that timely, important context of why it's so important to engage in gender transformative education. So I now hand over to Karen van der Hoort to take us through the amazing course that she's developed. Over to you, Karen, and you can introduce yourself. Thank you.
All right. So before I start, just want to make sure, is everybody where they are supposed to be in their respective translation channels? Do we need a minute to get everybody in the right place, or are we all good to go? I don't see anybody panicking, so it should be okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Pumza. All right. So my name is Karen. I would like to thank Pumza for the lovely words about me. Now the stakes are really high, the expectations are really high, so thank you for that. And then first of all, I want to correct her on something because she said that I have developed the course. Well, I have, but couldn't have done it without the amazing team at GCE and all the resources that they've also given me. Because although I am an educational sociologist and I have a background in working in fragile and vulnerable areas, there's so much going on in the field that I wanted to make sure that I got all the most updated information. So we've worked together over the last probably about 6 months or so to develop this course. This is not your typical, here's some PDF files and now just read it course. This is actually a course that you have to do things on. And that is by default and by design because adult learners, which all of you are here in the room, We don't like to be told what we're supposed to think. We want to think for ourselves and we want to engage with the content. So that is what this course is aiming to do. So I will take you through what the modules look like, and I will also show you how some of these interactive exercises actually work. So this is me. I just turned 58. I don't know how I got to 58, but I don't feel like it at all. So if there's people here who are around my age, please tell me how you feel. Do you feel 58, 55, or do you still feel like in your 30s, like I do? I am still waiting to, grow up fully. And that makes me probably really suitable to do these kind of courses because my imagination knows no bounds. And I think that's almost a childlike curiosity and playfulness that hopefully you will also find in the course. These are the modules. So we start off with laying a foundation. And for some of you who've been in the field for quite a while, this may feel like going back to basics. But believe me, it's all the latest insights, and it has some exercises in there to just make sure that, you don't just assume that you still know it all, but you can actually test it. And then we dive deeper into the concepts of GTE and GESI and the role that coalitions can play in integrating these two concepts in their advocacy strategies. And Pumsa said this is very actionable. It is. I like to use the word very practical because it's one thing to learn about concepts and to get almost an academic type of understanding of why it would be a good idea to integrate it. It's yet a whole other thing to actually operationalize that, to actually do it. So this course is probably a mix of course and toolkit and resources in one. And I personally like because you don't when I recommend a resource in the course, you don't have to look for it. I've actually attached it for you. So we still dive deeper into GCI and disability inclusion in education, in fragile, like in emergencies, crisis contexts, because those are different contexts. And then we go to the nitty-gritty of education financing and gender responsive and inclusive budgeting. Now, there might be some people in this room who are like me, more on the social domain. And like I said, I'm an educational sociologist. I used to think numbers were not for me, but the numbers tell a story. So what I've tried to do is make this a really low threshold type of lesson about, but how can you actually tell if the budgeting is done properly? And if the priorities that are set out in the National Education Plan and in our advocacy are being translated into resources. Because advocacy without resources and policies without resources are just words. And they can do things like changing minds and changing hearts, but they cannot change the practice on the ground for the most vulnerable. And then number 6, a little, newsflash. Number 6 is the only module that you don't have to take a test for at the end. All the other 5, we have built in a little test to see if you actually grasp the concept. But for number 6 is really the how. This one has no quiz. So this is telling you how to apply everything that is in the previous 5 modules. So it's very practical. And if you're a little bit like me, you may get more. I also uploaded about 80 audio files in 5 different languages. In a minute, you're going to hear my voice in a video. Don't worry, my voice is not in the course, but I just did that for this presentation. So all the audio files are actually in the language of the course. So if you choose an Arabic version of the course, your voiceovers are going to be in Arabic. There's 5 quizzes. You will need to pass with 80%. then you can move on to the next module. You can try it 3 times. And for the teenagers amongst you at heart, or even maybe in age, you cannot cheat because you cannot write down the answers because the questions will be generated randomly and the answers will be shuffled. So I'm sorry, not really sorry. So there's that. What else? I'm going to show you some examples of interaction in the course. You don't have to upload your videos. It's just interaction by mouse. Don't worry. You don't have to submit anything. But let us start with the first one. So you see here a lovely picture of vegetables and nuts and seeds and fruits. This is just to demonstrate how a sorting activity actually works. The voice that you're hearing in this clip is mine, but I'm stopping to speak now. Here we go. We're off to a healthy start. I'm going to show you the sorting activity by using the categories fruit and vegetables and nuts. So here we see the categories fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and we're trying to put all the items in the correct category. So far, so good. Spinach is a vegetable. Cashews are nuts. Walnuts are, no, not fruits, not vegetables. They're nuts. And so we do each item. We put it in the correct category. And you will see if we are doing it wrong, it will jiggle a little bit. This is not a graded assignment, and you can take it as many times as you want. Okay, so that's just one of the interactive features. Of course, we don't have the fruits and vegetables for real. I think I put them in there just to practice. But normally you would see categories like this is gender transformative or this is gender neutral. So you actually have to think about it. It's not timed, it's not graded. It's really just for you to test, can I actually work it out? In which category do these concepts belong? Now, a different way to do something interactive is this one. Next up is a matching assignment. Not exactly like a puzzle, but this was a very cute little intro for this little matching activity. So here we go, match the educational terms with their corresponding definitions. Now, this is not a timed assessment or anything, so you can take as long as you want. And so what we will do is we will match every educational term with a definition. We submit. Let's see how we did. Great job. We've done it correctly. This one also is in the test question. So these interactive exercises and the knowledge checks, which I will show you in the next slide, are also sprinkled throughout the modules, but they're also part of the question bank from which the system will generate the questions in your quiz. So your quiz will consist of questions you've already encountered in the module, and then some extra randomly generated questions that you have not seen before. So it shouldn't look too unfamiliar when you're at the end of the module to do your quiz. And talking about quizzes, this is how we do knowledge checks. Now let's look at some little quizzes or knowledge checks that are all throughout the course. So here we go. Which of the following is an example of an interactive learning activity? So we've read the question, we're going through the answers. Is it reading a textbook chapter? Maybe listening to a lecture? Watching a documentary. Let's try that. We submit it. Oh, it's wrong. Watching a documentary provides information but does not actively engage the learner. Let's try again. So we retake it. This time, of course, we choose the sorting activity. And we've done it correctly. Again, not timed, not graded. Okay. So that's, those are some of the interactive features of the course, not all of them. But I wanted to take you a little bit through the videos. If you remember the slides with the numbers, I told you that there's probably around 20 videos in there. Those videos, most of them are produced by me. So they're not randomly found on the internet or something. They are actually based on the content of the course. I wrote the scripts. I either purchased or sourced the rights-free images or footage, and if I couldn't find it, I probably generated it myself. Now, what would have been really easy for me would have been to put every video in the same format. Also, that means for you, you would have been bored very quickly. So on purpose, every video has a different layout with one exception, which I'll show you. The example that I'm going to show you is the example of a case study. And we have, thanks to all of the partners, we have several case studies, and we've actually woven them into the fabric of the course. So we are showing you these examples to say to you, hey, look, this is how you can actually do it. So the next slide, have a look at what you see. Note the dynamic captions, meaning the text actually comes on the screen, and while you listen and while you look, the text moves in front of you. The voiceover is in English because I've chosen the English version, but all of these videos are then remade into the language of that course. So the only time that you will see subtitles is when I've sourced videos from outside sources, because I do not have the rights to remake them with the voiceover of that language of the course. So if I found a UK or American video, I can subtitle it, which I've done, but I cannot regenerate it with new voiceovers. That's beyond my rights. But for all of the videos that I've produced, I've actually done that. So first I'm going to show you the English version, and then I'm going to show you the first part of the Arabic version, just so you can see. And this one, on request of Pumza, we're going to watch in its entirety, and that is 2 minutes.
Small changes, big impact. Everyday transformation in education. Gender transformative education does not only happen through national policies or global commitments, it also happens every day in schools, homes, and communities. In many contexts, children drop out of school not because they lack ability, but because they lack support. Poverty, stigma, disability, and gender norms can slowly push learners out of education. Community-based initiatives show how small, consistent actions can make a big difference. In Burundi, community actors involved in the Tonton et Tante École approach worked closely with families, schools, and local leaders. By acting as trusted adults, they helped identify early signs of dropout, supported children emotionally, and rebuilt trust between families and schools. What made this approach successful was its simplicity and closeness to the community. It did not rely on complex systems, but on relationships, care, and regular follow-up. In South Sudan, GSA-focused community initiatives work to address exclusion in fragile and conflict-affected settings. Local actors focused on dialogue, inclusion, and community ownership, even where resources were limited. These approaches recognized that communities are not only affected by crises, they are also part of the solution. Gender transformative education grows when communities are supported to challenge harmful norms, include all learners, and act together. Transformation is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is patient, practical, and deeply human. Credits. With thanks to partners in Burundi for the Tonton et Tante École initiative, and to contributors from South Sudan for sharing community-based GSE practices.
Okay, so whenever you see the starting screen of this video, I'll show it to you once again. Look at the colors that
Small
you see.
changes, big.
Whenever you see these little speech bubbles in colors, that's a case study. And that comes from you as partners or as members. Now, if you were doing the Arabic version of this course, you would
Small
see this.
changes. تغييرات صغيرة تأثيره كبير. التحول اليومي في التعليم. التحول التعليمي القائم على النوع الاجتماعي لا يحدث فقط من خلال السياسة.
So you can see that the video is the same, but the voiceover and the captions are in the language of that course. So that should really help with retention. If you wanted to use captions within the course, you can click on captions and you can actually use those, should you prefer that. I just wanted to see if there's any, no, there's not any questions or reactions that I should, no, that's all good. I just wanted to check the chat. Okay, continue on. Now, it's also aimed at a somewhat younger audience. And we all know, well, actually, like I said, I'm 58. I'm also on my phone quite a lot to watch, probably. But you know that the format for videos that you watch on your phone are usually in a vertical format. So you will also see videos like the next one.
Child-friendly spaces, or CFSs, are vital in emergencies, offering children protection, psychosocial support, and non-formal education. Let's explore the 5 key principles that make these spaces effective and supportive for every child. A coordinated interagency and multi-sectoral approach ensures CFSs meet children's needs efficiently. By collaborating with education, health, and protection sectors, agencies avoid duplication and maximize resources, creating consistent, high-quality support for affected children. CFSs work best when communities are involved from the start. Engaging parents.
Okay, I'm not going to show you the whole video. You will have to take the course to see it. That's the way we do it. Now, why I was really excited to work on this course and why I know this course works is because there is a ton of variety in this course, and that will keep you engaged. There's images, there's infographics, there's videos, there's exercises, and then there's downloadable resources, but there are also reflection questions in there. If you see that sometimes information is being repeated from one module to the next, or maybe something from module 1, you think in module 3, wait, I think I read about that. That's correct. That's not me getting old and forgetting that I already put it in module 1. It's really for some repetition because it reinforces learning. Now, remember Pumza's actionable and my practical. This is where it's getting really exciting as well. All the practical tools that we have actually inserted in there. And I will give you an example of what that actually looks like in a minute or so. We've also made sure that you will have to do some work around a fictitious country and give, the education officer, the government education officer, and the policy officer some advice. But also, we have made a very big example of Malawi, and we've actually given you the blueprint on how to work on advocacy for any country by sharing the real documents and the real challenges for a real country. So if people are here from Malawi, we've kind of done a lot of work for you already. All the other ones will have to find it in their own countries or target countries. And then we're drilling down to a local level or regional level to do a social audit for a school. So very hands-on. Suppose that you have funding to help a number of regional schools. How are you actually going to go about measuring how inclusive they are, and how are you going to see how they're doing in comparison to the national policies? And how are you going to give them recommendations on how to prioritize their budget? So the only way to do that is to really take a really close look at the numbers and at the reality. So we've made a social audit for a regional school. And you're the one who has to define the gaps and the priorities. And you're the one who has to then make a policy document for it. And like I said, there's plenty of knowledge checks. There's a lot of information that we're giving you, but there's also reflection questions. And here I come at a point where, I know some people will say, sometimes this course might be a little bit uncomfortable because all of us, the way we are here in this virtual meeting room, we come with our own experiences, our own upbringing, and our own biases. Um, when I look back at my school time, it was still, gender-based roles and gender stereotypes were rampant. And I'm sure it's the same for all of the other countries. And so we're part of society. So some of those gender stereotypes might also be embedded in ourselves, and hence the reflection questions. There's a really fun exercise in there and that uses flip cards, the ones that we used when we were studying when we were young, to just confront us with our own images. I'm not going to tell you what they are because then the surprise is gone, but it's a really fun exercise. And then at the end of it, I'm sure that we all understand that, okay, even I, working on gender transformative education, even I have some stereotypes still living in my head. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of why this course works. So we're talking about an RGA, which stands for a Rapid Gender Analysis. This comes from chapter 4 or module 4 in Crisis and Emergencies. So we want to tell you which strategies you can use to establish and to promote further inclusive education in emergencies. So that's the theoretical level. We tell you, you've got these strategies, you pick and choose what it works best for you. Now, one of these tools, one of these strategies is a rapid gender analysis. We then go on to explain in a video what the actual steps are of an RGA, but we also show you the outcome of a real a rapid gender analysis. And we show you how the outcomes are linked to the recommendations. So again, that's a bit of a blueprint on how you can work. And then because we know you're excited to go to the field and do a rapid gender analysis, for your convenience, we have included a downloadable field tool that you can actually take with you to do that analysis. And if you wanted to dive deeper, we have included some guidance from UNICEF as a download. You don't have to look for it, it's already there. And of course, all of these tools, these downloads, the ones that we've produced, are also available in all of the languages of the courses. That doesn't go for external resources. So sometimes we were able to find the Arabic version, the French version, or the Portuguese version, but not all of them are in translations. If you miss any resources or you think we haven't done or I haven't done a good enough job of searching for them, please let me know and I can still include them in the course. So I'm always happy to hear that. Okay, some design choices. Now, look at these slides. I am here telling you that I've made some design choices based on good practices in which I've chosen to use different video styles to maintain attention. I have chosen to do repetition to support retention. I'm focusing on real world use. So yes, there are some theoretical concepts in there, but this is not an academic course. We use all kinds of files. So it's multimedia, it's text, it's visuals, photos, icons, videos with voiceover, animated captions. And we've chosen to use all of the colors of GCE so that we have a colorful design. All of this to retain attention. And we've done downloadable tools and resources. By this time, you've heard me basically read all the voice or all the text on this slide to you. I just wanted to show you this information on this slide looks like this in an infographic. So if you see the difference between those two things, it is very clear that the infographic actually is much more attractive for you to look at, to read, and to get interested in. And also you can see in just one glance that, okay, so it's videos, real world use, downloadable things, colorful design, icons, and you may remember that much better. So that's just to show you the difference between text-heavy courses and the use of infographics. We are doing actually really well on time. So if you look at this slide, you see the coffee and the cake and the bubble tea and the cupcakes. Now, if this had been not a virtual, but a live meeting, I would offer you tea and coffee and maybe even some brownies. Unfortunately, it is a virtual launch. So you're getting, Pumza is really strict because I said, give these people a break. And she said, okay, but only 5 minutes. So you've listened to quite a lot of information now because I don't know if you've noticed, but you've already been here for about 45 minutes. I am giving you 5 minutes to stretch your legs, grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And then in 5 minutes, if you have your phone ready, set a timer. We're going to resume. I have to set my alarm as well. Translators, how are we doing? Am I speaking too fast? Should I slow down the pace or is it okay?
It's fine.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you. I've just put a message for the tech host in the chat because after the break, we're going to do some work in breakout rooms.
Karen, please see my private message so long.
Oh, did I get a private message from you? No, I didn't. Uh, 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 uh. There you are. Yes, I can see a private message.
Karen, can we resume, please?
Yes.
Take the time.
Sorry, I was just this is really bad. I was just talking to the tech host here. Let me just put the links in the chat. I don't know who I'm talking to here from GCE, the tech host, but he or she is brilliant. Okay, done. Let me see if I still have a face. Yes, I do. Okay. All right. So for 45 minutes, you have been here. Well, by now it's longer. And you haven't done any work. So we thought it would be really good to give you some work to do. And for this, we don't need facilitators because this is actually very easy to do and we can do it ourselves. So in a minute, but not yet, our tech host is going to make sure that you will go to or you can choose to go to the breakout room of your choice based on language. And what we are going to do there, let me just get one to show you on the screen so that you know what you're looking for. Let me just share that. Where are you? You are here. Am I the only one who talks to their computer? Okay, so if you click the link that I will put in the chat in a minute, you click the link of your language and you will see a reflection exercise. These slides are interactive. So anybody who speaks this language can put answers in the slide. And because you're going to the breakout room with the language that you've chosen, you can then unmute your microphones and talk to each other and decide who is going to put the answers in. Or the other thing is you could also say, let's all put our individual answers in here. You can add slides, no problem. You can just, add one, or you can even duplicate one here if you wanted to do that. This is always going to lead to a little bit of chaos, but that's fine. It's creative chaos. And once you're done and we come back to the plenary, we will talk a little bit about how that was and if you actually had any input there. And I'm also going to rework it after the meeting to make an extra resource for you, just for fun and as a reward for your participation here. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to put this slides in the chat. So first of all, for everybody who wants to go to the English version, I will put it in the chat right now. Here we go, English version. Paste. Please click that link. That takes you to the English version of the slides. For Espanol, if there's any Spanish-speaking people here, this is your link. Enjoy. Of course, we have Portuguese people. Bom dia, I saw it. Well, Portuguese-speaking people, because I think we had a Brazilian colleague here. Here are your Portuguese slides. Please do not, mess everything up by putting Portuguese on the French slide, because I only speak so many languages and I don't know what to do if you're going to do that. So here we have the Arabic slides. I saw some people from Lebanon, I think. And of course we have Français. All right, so I've given you plenty of time to go to these slides. And now let us have a look. Yeah, I can see people are already on there. Beautiful. Everything works as it should. All right, tech host, if you can please send everybody to the breakout rooms or give them the opportunity to choose the breakout room of their language, please. And you're going to come back automatically into the plenary in about 15 minutes. You can join the breakout rooms from down under in your bar. Oh, it's going beautifully. You've done this before, clearly.
Great.
Why,
I'm
why
seeing the
was I
proper for
worried?
French.
Yes.
Exactly. Same. I'm seeing a pop-up for French, Selma,
Yeah,
on
I'm not
on
going to French because I can't do that.
yeah.
But you can choose it.
So
Oh yeah, I see it. A
if you
lot of people.
scroll down, you'll see the other languages. So you have,
Exactly. Yeah,
as you see it at the bottom, you'll see Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, and English.
yeah.
Really?
Scroll
Oh,
down.
that's Salma doing that. Thank you, Salma. You did a great job. Just
You're
go to the breakout
welcome.
room on the bottom and you will see your breakout room. I can see there's 3 in English. There's still 68 people going like, help, where am I going? Arabic
Yeah.
people, you can go to below French. Let's see how this works. Yeah, the chaos is on. Yeah, it's working. I see people going into the correct meeting rooms. No Spanish? Come on.
I'm gonna join French because I only see French.
No, no, no. If you go, so do you see that little square thing? Breakout rooms. If you
Okay.
click on that,
Oh, join breakout
you can
room.
Yes.
Aha, I see it.
exactly.
I'm seeing 60 French, Arabic 2, Spanish 0.
Yeah,
Okay, that one. Okay, great.
yeah,
Thanks, Salmi.
You're welcome. You guys can all just choose your language.
exactly. Give that woman a raise. She did great. That's advocacy, right? Yeah, we have 3 in Portuguese. We're doing it. It's working. And we're very good on time, so I'm not worried. Not worried at all. But it doesn't matter. Even if people are not in the breakout rooms and they're still working on the slides, it's also fine. But it's funny how we don't have anybody choosing Spanish. Isn't that interesting? For people who have not joined their breakout rooms, just go down your toolbar to a little square that consists of 4 little squares and it says breakout rooms. Click on that, then choose the language that you want to work in.
Acho que é aqui onde eu estou, porque já tinha entrado, não é? Ainda não. Será que é aqui? Não é? Não, talvez tenha que voltar. Tive oscilação de energia Então, acabei saindo do computador.
Salma, can you tell me how many minutes left for the breakout rooms?
What's the total amount of time you allocate into them?
The total amount of time was about 15 minutes, but I can see people working really hard on the slides.
Yeah.
And so I just want to, is it okay if I just give them 10 minutes from now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Because I can see, I'm looking at the English slides because I cannot read the other ones. And I can see some really, rampant gender stereotypes that people grew up with. So can we imagine if you grew up like that, it's in your DNA, and now you have to work on gender transformative education. That's pretty tall order, huh?
Alô?
Yes. Hi.
Yes,
Sim,
Tia.
desculpa. Acho que tenho que voltar para o computador porque estou a usar o telefone. Tive oscilação de energia. Deixa-me ver. Acho que aqui, se eu continuar pelo computador, não é de ter sucesso nenhum. É só um momento. Já vou trocar. Obrigada.
The thing is, we're not understanding if she asking me to move her or can anyone help with the translation? So Karen, there's no one for Spanish, it's zero, right?
No. Well, I can't, so I cannot reassign people to breakout rooms, but when I look at the participants, nobody has
Swedish.
indicated that, right?
No, not
But
no.
Carolina, did you know any,
So,
did you
so
get,
Carolina is our interpreter for today. So
sorry?
Carolina is the interpreter for Spanish for the group.
Yeah. So I wonder
So
if she has been in contact with the Spanish so
I'm
far.
looking at the group. I don't see any. I only saw Israel join early on, but I see he probably in the English channel.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Like I said, this is always a little bit of a beautiful chaos. Can you add a participant to the English group, Salma?
Yes, I can. I can move them around. I can add.
Yeah, in the chat there's Hien, who's asking to be moved to the English group. But
Oh,
I
okay.
can't
All right.
I can't do
Just
it.
trying. Sorry, I have the groups open on my background, so I'm just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Let me just find it. Give me a second. I'm just gonna find her. Yeah, I think everyone has been assigned a room.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
good.
or they're working in the slides anyway. I can see a lot of
You can
activity
see
going
that.
on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm working
Yeah.
on my screen today, so I don't have an opportunity to see the slide as well. Okay, so it seems good.
Yeah, these gender stereotypes are just so difficult to break through, right? They're still here. So, Salma, is there any chance that you can give me co-host rights so I can add a poll very quickly?
Yeah, sure. I can do that. You can
Yeah, I
see if you
don't.
can do it and or
Hello,
let me know
Salma.
how I can support.
Can you add me to Portuguese group, please,
Portuguese?
Salma?
Sure, no problem. Abroad?
Yes.
Please. Sure, no problem. I'm going to do it right away. I think you were allocated to French for some reason. I don't know.
I cannot add any. It's okay. It's fine.
Do you want to share it with me that I can add it
Yeah, are
here?
you okay? Are you okay editing it for me?
Do you need it at the end of the meeting or during the call itself?
Just right after this exercise. It is just one. I will share it to you through the chat, okay?
Okay, let me see if I
Yeah,
can.
I'm used to being my own tech host in the sense that it's my Zoom link, so I would have everything already in my own in my own system. Okay.
Have you
The
shared it with me?
Yeah, it's now here in.
Okay, let me. Um,
Oh, I can't really, it's not really, yeah. It was a table, of course. Let me just, otherwise I can share it in a Word document for you.
yeah, I think it will be better.
Yeah, I
Just
think so
trying to
too.
see quickly how I can capture your
Yeah,
poll
yeah, yeah,
before
yeah,
your
yeah.
start.
Okay, the document is just going to be called poll. That's all, okay?
Okay, it's gonna be called poll. Okay. Is there a question that I quickly capture?
Yeah. No, it's here. Wait, just give me one sec so I can
Okay.
quickly upload it here. Well, apparently I made a typo, so it's poll and then a T, a random T. Just disregard it. There you go.
Give me a second. Let me just find it.
It's in the chat.
Okay. Yes. Can't open it quickly.
Yeah, we still have about 4 minutes, so we should be okay.
I'll try and do this quick as possible for you. Whole
Yeah,
T. Okay, here we go.
yeah.
You can still
No
download it.
stress, no stress if you can't do it, but if
No,
you can, it
no.
would be great.
Let's try and get at least this poll up. No second. Just need to open. Okay. Karen, should it
Yeah.
be a drop down? Or how's this? Because it's A and B, so I'm not sure. How do you want it? I've got the question.
Whatever works. Even if you can just put one question there, I'm already overjoyed. So do whatever works for you. They're working really, really hard in their slides. I love it. Can we get everybody back?
Yes, I can close the rooms. Okay, so can I close it?
Yes, please.
Alright.
Yeah,
So,
awesome.
closing all the rooms. They
All
will be
right.
conducted primarily in a few seconds.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I think everybody's back, right?
Yeah, still working.
I know. It doesn't have to be finished.
Yes.
We will never finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we stop sharing that Canvas screen, please, Summer?
Yes.
It is beautiful.
Sorry, is it something sharing from my side?
No, no, no. I think it needs to. I think it's an accident.
In a second, let me just see who's sharing.
Asisa is sharing, but
Yeah,
she
I'm
may have
trying
done it maybe
by
not on
mistake.
purpose.
Here we go.
Yeah, better. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I, of course, had a peek at your slides. And as I was saying to some people who remained in the main room, it is not surprising, but still shocking to see how many of these gender stereotypes we all grew up with. And yet we're asking ourselves to disregard all these stereotypes that are kind of ingrained in our own DNA and work on gender transformative education. That just goes to show, how much we also need to confront our own biases and stereotypes. Um, and these gender stereotypes are not good for anyone. They're not good for women, and they're certainly also not good for men. There's this focus on, how you should behave, which emotions you should or shouldn't display, but also what your future may hold for you. Um, so it's quite disappointing to see that we still have to do so much work. And on the other hand, it's also quite uplifting to see so many people in the room here who make it their daily job to change all of this. So I'm very proud to support all of you by, just a small effort by making this course for you. I am going to take all of these slides and I'm going to bring them together and draw some conclusions and share those through Pumza later for you so that all your hard work doesn't go lost. But I think we have one little poll to share just for you. Can you put it on the screen for me?
So I managed to capture all three. Just let me
Oh,
know.
wow. Okay, perfect.
Please see, I didn't know how to rank it, but just see the way I put it in.
It's just, are you comfortable or uncomfortable? Yeah. Okay,
Exactly.
so all right, so
Right.
we have three questions for you. I will just run through them because they're not translated. So imagine, and this is to confront your own comfort level. Imagine that you have a daughter-in-law and she has a new job. She now makes twice the income of your son. How comfortable are you with that? And it's anonymous, so please honest answers only. I can tell you that my own mother-in-law was very uncomfortable with, and when, at a certain period at the start of our marriage, I made, almost double the money that my husband made. We were fine with it. She wasn't. By now she's come around, but it took about 50 years or so. No, that's mean. Only 30. What about this one? Do you recognize this? Sadly, I do. After a festive dinner, all of the men sit together, they smoke or they vape, and they watch TV. And where are all the women? They're clearing up. I almost wanted to say we are cleaning up. Just bear in mind, we also cook the food. So this is one that I am not participating in anymore, and I wish I would have stopped participating 20 years earlier. Question number 3. A male colleague asks for a day off because his 3-year-old child has a fever. So one of the parents needs to stay at home. Are you comfortable with that, or are you uncomfortable? You can click your answers right now, huh? Why am I not seeing answers, Salma? Why are people not clicking?
Karen, when we click on the options on the drop-down list, we have 3 options, answer 1, 2, and 3. So
Okay. Okay. So our quick and dirty solution for the poll didn't work. That's okay.
I've already submitted. I thought it was rating of how comfortable
No.
or uncomfortable are we. So I've
No, it's
already
not
submitted
rating.
my answers.
But who here just, click one of these little, reaction buttons? Who recognizes the second one? After a celebration, the men basically watch sports or, smoke, and the women are cleaning up. Be honest. Because I think that one is universal. Yeah, see? Men need to shape up and women need to, stop doing this. Okay. See, so this is just a little example of how we are, always having to confront our own biases and our own comfort level. And these are universal stereotypes and universal practices. So this is just to show that there's still a lot of work to be done. You get an opportunity now to ask some questions through either putting up your, what is it, your virtual hand. I wanted to do the thumbs up, but now your virtual hand. And then you can ask your question, or if you're more comfortable with putting it in the chat, that's also fine to do that. And then we'll see who can answer it. Fumza, do you want to take over?
Karen, can I end the poll?
Sorry?
Can
Yes,
I
you
end
can.
the poll?
Yeah,
Karen,
you can.
maybe before the questions, because it probably would be where is the course? We can just flight it and share it.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it, Fumza. Yes.
So let me just flight this to show everyone where is this amazing course that Karen has been telling us about for the last hour and a half. So I'm on the GCE website, and as you can see here, if you click here on the Learning Hub, it will redirect you to the Learning Hub. So if you're not logged in the Learning Hub, it will ask for your sign-in details. You can sign in with your email details, or you can create an account, and then you'll be able to access the content. So you'll just go down the home page, and then you'll see firstly the English course, courses in English. There is the course readily and available. And then you'll click on the course, and you can just start the GTE course online and say enter. So we've made the course for you to be able to do it in 3 attempts to submit, and the passing of the course, in order to pass the course, it is rated at 80%. We've also added a certification that will be written once you've completed the course that will say, from GCE, Pumza Lutango, congratulations, he has completed this course. And there's also a beautiful, what is this? Link that anyone who has that certificate can be able to verify where that course is stemming from or what is the institution, which is GCE. So the course is available as we had explained. If you go through the homepage, you'll see it in French, You'll see the one in French. But I must warn, as you see here, on my side, although I'm on the French web page, if your browser is English, it will change to English. So just make sure that when that question pops up, defaults to English, you just say stay in French. So that's why you're seeing mine, although the picture is in French, but the description is in English. But the course is available in French. Then you will click Portuguese as well. And then you see the Portuguese one available here with the description there. And then you click same way. And then you see it in Spanish as well. There it is in Spanish and Arabic. This is actually our first course in Arabic. So thank you, Karen. This has been really great. And then lastly, in Russian. So yes, the course is available on the Learning Hub. Thank you, Karen. Over to you.
All right. So I just wanted to give you the opportunity to ask some questions about the course, or maybe about the topics or what I've shown you in terms of interactive exercises. So if there's anybody who has a question or a remark, please feel free. And don't forget to raise your little virtual hand. I can't see all the participants because there are so many. You can also put it in the chat so we can answer it later if you don't. Yeah, there's Elsie.
Yes. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Thank you for your great course and job, really, task. I have a question. How many hours we need to finish this course?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit difficult to say, to give a concrete answer because it also depends on what you already know. But let's say the average person, it takes about a maximum of an hour to do one module, and it's 6 modules.
6 hours.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, around, huh? But if you have already a lot of background knowledge, you cannot skip forward to, oh, that's another one. Good that you asked me the question. So let's say you think, I know everything already. I'm just going to go to the quiz at the end of module 1. I'm not going to watch Karen's videos. You can't. You cannot skip ahead to the quiz. So you do have to go through the module. So at least you are refreshed. You're doing a refresher. But of course, if you already have a lot of knowledge, may take you less. Yeah. Any other questions? No, doesn't look like it, huh? I'm also looking at the chat. Okay. All right. Now, there might be, I just wanted to put one more disclaimer in place. We've tried to make this course as accessible and easy to follow for everyone. So it might be true that there might be something in there that you think, well, this is not really appropriate for my context. Please, if you have any feedback like that, or if you feel that I've missed something, or that you have a great resource that I just haven't been able to identify, you can contact me. I will put my contacts. Let me just put my website here, because then you can see there's also a contact form on there. So you can always contact me through a web form, and that just goes straight to my email. I can see that come in real time, but you can also, of course, contact Pumza or anyone else at GCE for that matter. Israel, do you have a question or a remark?
Yes, I have a question. I'm trying to turn on my camera. Okay, here it
Yes,
goes.
hi.
Zoom is working out very weirdly on my computer today, so I had to switch to the phone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen, for the presentation. Thank you, GCE, for organizing it. It is very interesting since I was part of the first meeting, right? To review the course and all that. It's very is a huge step, I believe, to have the course already available. My question is if there is any platform that we can get in touch, like between ourselves who are making the course, if there is a way, a comment section, I don't know, something around these lines for us to be in touch with other people that are taking the course. Thank you.
That's a question for Pumza. If
Yes.
Pumza wants to set something up, Pumza, that's all yours, that question.
Yes, so below the courses on the Learning Hub, there is something called Discussion Forum, where you upload your comments, your reflections, or your questions, where then everyone within that gender transformative education community will be able to see it and respond. So that is the interactive section. And as GCE, we will do an expression of interest to see how we can support in terms of if there's any of the members who want enrollment support or content support. Susmita is here as the gender specialist. So we'll be able to get in touch to see how that follow-up is as well. Thank you, Karen.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to give the platform back to you, Pumza, because this concludes it for me. And look at our perfect time management. I just want to pat ourselves on the back here.
Great.
Go for it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Karen, for this wonderful work you've done. We did have a pilot group that we had selected from our members that, we shared the ideas with and everything. So thank you so much for everyone who was able to avail themselves. However, I'm not doing the closing remarks. I now hand over to our global coordinator, Grant Kosonjete. Over to you, Grant.
Okay, thank you so much, Pumza. It is always exciting, to sit and be in the same community as everyone. This is really a great, exciting moment, for the movement. So friends, colleagues, and partners, as the Global Campaign for Education, we are honored to have brought this moment to life, the global launch of the Gender Transformative Education course. Today, we have not only unveiled a new learning opportunity, but we have also strengthened our collective resolve to ensure that every child, every young person, every person all around the globe has the right to inclusive and equitable education. This course is more than just modules and materials. It is a tool of action, a catalyst for advocacy, and a pathway to systemic change. We know the challenges are real: poverty, discrimination, and exclusion. But we also know that when civil society stands together, equipped with knowledge and practical tools, transformation is possible. The GTE course gives us those tools, from gender responsive budgeting to inclusive policy analysis, and it empowers us to turn commitments into realities. Let us live here with a renewed energy. Let us take this course into our coalitions, our communities, our countries, and make it live in practice. The GCE Learning Hub is now open, and the journey begins today. And here, I want to offer a special thanks to Karen, who led into the development of the course, to Pumza and Julie and others who led into the coordinating but also reviewing of the materials. Through your efforts, you have brought our dreams to reality, and we are deeply grateful. On behalf of the Global Campaign for Education, I want to thank each one of you for your passion, your dedication, and your belief in the power of education to transform lives. Together, we will amplify the voices, strengthen our movement, and accelerate progress towards gender equality in education. Finally, this launch is not the end. It is the beginning of a stronger, more coordinated civil society movement as the Global Campaign for Education. And together, we will make education truly transformative force for gender equality and social justice worldwide. Thank you, everyone. And also special thanks to EOL program for providing the resources that we had to use in order for us to have this course. Thank you, and over to you, Pumza.
Thank you so much, Grant, and thank you to the members and Karen. Have a lovely evening, and thank you for attending the launch. Goodbye. Oh, and the interpreters, thank you very much.
Yeah, let's not forget them.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Merci.
Merci. Merci, au revoir.
Au revoir. Goodbye.
Merci, au revoir.
Au
Thank you so
revoir.
much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It was a wonderful course.
La date là, c'est.
Nassima,
Ah.
you've add the